Jagex have released a new Deadman mode blog today, and it is quite long, as you can see here. So for those of you that don't want to read through all this yourself, I'm going to quickly go over everything you need to know about Dead Mode Apocalypse, but let's just go for the important bits. Right, firstly, start and end time. It's beginning on Friday 25th of August at 5 p.m. BST. Other times listed below, and I'll link the blog in the description of this video if you want to check it out for yourself. So starting then, ends on Friday the 15th of September. That's your general playtime, and then there will be a multi-final, and then the multi-final will begin on Saturday. You'll be able to log into the worlds from 5 o'clock BST, and the whole multi-action with bosses spawning and fighting to the end, one survivor. That's going to happen an hour later at 6. Right. Main thing about Dead Mode is the breaches happening. These breaches have now been confirmed to be spawning 3 times per day on every single world. So at 8 o'clock, 3 a.m. and 11 a.m. BST times, and then others listed there for your time zone if you need it. But this basically means massive multi-fights 3 times a day. There'll also be a singles version of these breaches for those of you not in clans that want to go participate in that, but it should be a lot of fun. Death mechanics. This time round, you do not lose any experience on death. What you will lose, though, is your 10 most valuable items from your bank and everything you have on you. You will also lose any unattuned sigils you have in your bank, so you won't be able to just collect a load of sigils, store them in the bank. If you die, they're gone. You will keep any sigils that are currently active and you're using, so you'll be able to use 3 sigils at once, and these will be kept on death. You also have a safety deposit box where you can store 10 valuable items. Quite useful. What's next? Combat brackets and quest unlocks. So there's going to be 5 different combat bracket worlds. Level 3 to 50, 51 to 70, 71 to 90, 91 to 110, and 111 to 126. The XP you get in these worlds, for the first 2, you'll get 10 times combat and 10 times skilling. And then in the last 3 worlds, you'll get 15 times combat and still 10 times skilling. But you also get an increased drop rate modifier based on which world you're in. So the highest worlds have 4 times drop rate modifier, and the lowest one is 1 time drop rate modifier. You get 1 hour PvP immunity on spawn, and again in every single bracket you get to. So have a lot of time to do any dangerous activities you might want to do. And one thing to note is the one thing that won't be included in the drop rate modifiers is DT2 quest rewards. So your new rings, Soul Reaper axe parts, Virtus robes, that's still going to be base 1 time drop rate. Right, let's go down to quests. So you're going to get some quests per bracket you're in. Starting off with a few basic ones, you're going to get your Ava's Accumulator, unlocked Herbalore, and Room Mysteries and stuff at the beginner bracket. And as you move up brackets, you are getting additional quest unlocks. You'll be able to see these for yourself here, but the notable things are you'll be able to pick and make a choice which quest completion you want to unlock when you get to this bracket. So for this bracket 50 to 70, you have the choice of full completion of the Fremnik storyline, including Fremnik Isles, or you can do part completion of the Elf storyline up into Roving Elves. And you'll, just as soon as you get into this combat bracket, pick one of these 2 quests that you want to have unlocked for your account. So that's sort of some choice for everyone. Next combat bracket, you're going to get quests. You're going to be able to pick if you want Monkey Madness 2 unlocked, which sounds pretty good. Or do you want Desert Treasure unlocked? That might be a tricky pick. So do you want to go early PK with Ancients, or do you want to have a insane training spot unlocked for yourself and then have to quest Ancient still before you can burst there? At 91 to 110, you will be able to choose Beneath Cursed Sands, which is Tombs of a Massacre quest if you want to do that. Or you've got some of the Maruki storyline, which will get you access to Theatre of Blood. Actually, you can already... That seems a bit strange to me, because you can already do Theatre of Blood. You don't need to do quests for it. I guess it's just giving you a teleport there, so you wouldn't have to run there the whole time, which, I don't know, would be easier, but for me, hands down, having Tombs of a Massacre unlocked, that's just a winner right there. Especially as it's soloable content rather than multi. And finally, at the 111 combat bracket, you will unlock King's Ransom, so you get Piety for free by getting here. But also, you can choose Dragon Slayer 2 or doing Secrets of the North, which might be alright, but Dragon Slayer 2, having your Rune Dragons, Vorkath unlocked without having to do all the pre-quests, 200 quest points to get there or something, that kind of just seems like a no-brainer choice for me. So that you will be able to claim some of your quest rewards that you would have got if you completed them yourself, but have unlocked manually. So like you'll be able to collect a crystal shield or bow from the combat tutors in Lumbridge, one-time claim if you've picked that reward, and other stuff such as ice gloves or monkey grigris. Right, the point system. So this demo mode, they are doing prizes based on points you earn. So like top people have a chance to get a split of this $20,000 prize pool. And it just outlines here like getting points per boss you kill. So you kill Bandos once, you get 20 points. But the main thing to know about points is for the first 100 of a boss kill, you're getting the maximum points. And then if you get to, say, 101 kills, your points for that boss are now halved. So it seems like it's going to incentivize people to do a lot of different bosses rather than just camping one boss, because you'll start getting half points to that 100 mark. They are also giving you points for other stuff, like giving you 1 point per damage dealt to breach bosses. So if you go and run to a breach with a twisted bow, hit a 50, you get 50 points right there, which will be the same as 2.5 Bandos kills. Breaches are going to be the best way to get points, and they're aiming that at this for this demo mode. You want to be doing breaches to get that. Also get points for all the other activities you can think about doing: clue scrolls, combat tasks, combat achievement, achievement diaries, and so on. And then you're also getting bonuses for the first boss you kill. So you want to go around and sort of get at least one of every boss for this 20 times bonus, which will be very good. And then also skilling. You can get points for skilling. Sigils. Let's go down to the sigils. So we don't know too much about the sigils. And in this blog, they've given us a little bit more, but they want to keep some of the mystery there. So what they are telling us, you will have some utility trinkets different to sigils that you'll be able to use wherever you want without having to have it equipped. So Trinket of Vengeance, you'll be able to cast Vengeance without being on the Vengeance spellbook or have 94 Mage. One that lets you summon a Thrall. One that lets you have a Fairy Mushroom spawn. Be quite useful if you want to get around the game. And one that's from breaches only is a Trinket of Advanced Weaponry, which is going to give you a random corrupted weapon. Go a bit into it a little bit later in the blog, but basically this is going to be your corrupt Twisted Bow, which is just a worse version of a Twisted Bow, or Scythe, or so on. Right. A couple of sigils they have told us about. So right, Sigil of the Abyss. We had this last time, and it was 5 times runes you want to craft. This time they've just doubled it, so you're getting 10 times the amount of runes you normally would. We also had Sigil of Rampage. They have now tuned that down to be 1% less effective per thing. So your max bonus, you're still getting 10% damage and accuracy, but slightly down from the 15% it was before. Also got Sigil of the Freedom is now removed. That's quite annoying and broken by PKs. And also Sigil of the Skiller, giving you double XP, also been removed. There's new sigils they have told us. Sigil of the Fortune. So when you get a Mark of Grace, you'll also get 10,000 GP. Sounds pretty good for early money making. Might be worth trying to grab one of them. And then a Sigil of the Augmented Thrall, which means thrall damage is now 3 times as powerful, which might be quite strong when you can add it to your trinket above that summons a random thrall for you. That's a nice little extra bit of damage. Corrupted Weapons. Right, so these are just only from breaches and just sort of worse versions than your regular weapons you would have, such as Corrupted Voidwaker, Dragon Claws, Armored Broadsword, requiring lower stats to use and also have less damage than their main game counterparts. So it might be quite good to use some of these, especially Dragon Claws at a lower combat bracket, but we'll have to wait and see or until someone does their calculations. It seems some of them Voidwaker might be quite nice, but that's lowering your max hit from say a 70 in basic gear down to a 56. So still strong, especially with 100% accuracy. Might be worth getting some of these weapons, but not as good as the real ones. The final, so what's happening? There is going to be 5 worlds going on at once with multi-fights happening at the same time. So what's going to happen is you're going to have breaches and monsters spawning all over RuneScape, and you're going to be pushed by them and some gas to a final area where you have to fight out to the death. The last man standing on each world is going to get $1,000. But they are also giving away $20,000, $1,000, 20 different players based on what points they've got in the game mode and where they've come in. So if you just want to play in PVM, you could walk away with $1,000. Not too bad. Right. Merging in World 45. Most of you won't really care about this, because I think most people don't play 45 whatnot, but at the end of that mode, some of your stuff, your items will transfer across, and so will your stats. The main World 45 server. The things that won't transfer are going to be your corrupted weapons. They're just deleted from the game. And if you want to use an account that's already played on World 345 previously, you can do this. However, on the day, you're going to have to go to Lumbridge Graveyard and talk to Nigel and go through the warnings. So if you're trying to get on off the bat and you've already played in World 45, this is probably going to take 1 or 2 minutes longer, so it might be worth just using a fresh account. Just have a couple of things here saying XP is capped at 99, because they don't want people to completely obliterate the high scores on World 45. But yeah, stuff like that. Okay, PvP timer, not too important. I know PKs out there will have already seen this and go through this, but for the average player, just know it's sort of similar to how it is in 07 Wildy, where if you're hitting someone back, you then can't have people like swap out and transfer kills. So just fight back the PK that's on you, and they can't pass you around to their friends. And then another couple things that are here. So saying tier 5 relics are going to drop from all monsters over 100 combat. You don't gain XP if you're fighting other players, which is quite good if you don't want to level up to a different combat bracket. You sort of set your stats just for PKing. Can't use peak option in certain places like God Wars Dungeon bosses or Monkey Madness tunnels. Can't use God Wars Dungeon instances. Revenants will have access to the regular loot table, but not the statues. So a little bit nerfed, but there's still a really good money making method. Edgefield isn't a safe zone, but the emblem trader has been moved to the Grand Exchange. And a big thing here, Warriors Guild is now a safe zone. They have mentioned elsewhere, I'll chuck a screenshot if I can remember to put it in. Defenders are going to be 4 times drop rate, so Bronze to Rune is going to be a 1 in 12 drop rate, and then your Dragon Defenders are 1 in 25, so you should be able to get in and out of the Warrior Guild really quick. It is not going to be worth camping the downstairs 100 plus Cyclopses, because they have mentioned that in a safe zone you will not get your relics, sigil drops, or global drop table stuff, so just always worth train your combat outside of safe zone. Okay, what else is... There's a few more things added to the emblem shop, like your Elite Void you can now purchase, but that's in some other blogs if you want to check that out. that is pretty much everything you need to know about dev mode. If you do have some additional questions, drop it in the comments below. I'll try and answer anything I can. If you have any, want to know anything else that I've missed or you want to see, I've also got another video I've done on the previous dev mode blog that goes more in depth into all of the stuff, so check that out if you want to. And enjoy this clip to get you in the mood for dev mode. Thank you for watching.